Welcome into Game Changers.
Look
it's so
back.
nice to have Steve Goldstein
He's
back.
back from Norway.
Kitos. Finish.
Kitos.
Kitos. I'm saying thank you and
Oh,
finish.
beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
You picked up a new language while you were over there.
Yeah. And if we had a little toast, I'd say keepies.
How do you
keepies.
What do they drink over there?
Is cheers. And the same thing you drink.
How do you say goal in Norwegian?
That's about it. And it's Finnish.
Finish.
Finish.
Oh, finish.
You got Norway.
Oh, Norway. Okay.
On the map, Norway.
There we go, geography.
Finland.
That's enough. We got enough.
Baltic Sea.
Baltic
Finland.
Sea, which is where you were
And by the way,
swimming.
Estonia is like right across, would be the equivalent like Biscayne Bay.
Really?
It's like, oh, there's another country. Yeah, pretty good.
Well, let me say this. We missed you.
I missed you guys.
It was fun
How much
watching.
fish did you eat over there?
Tons of
Tons of
fish.
fish.
And a little reindeer.
You ate a little reindeer?
Not Rudolph.
Like a baby reindeer?
Not Rudolph.
I thought
You
of
ate a
Rudolph.
baby reindeer?
No,
Not
I
Rudolph.
had a little bit of reindeer.
Oh, I thought you
No, I'm not
said you ate a little reindeer.
I felt bad. I had a couple of
reindeer.
bites.
Santa's one ride short.
Reindeer is big over there. I had a few bites. That was it. Mostly fish.
Did they cook the horns? Do you like nibble on it like ribs or something?
It was just, well, there was reindeer sausage on the breakfast buffet at the hotel.
You're an animal. Do they cook
Which, by the way, you would have liked, Bo, because the buffet was included with the hotel. So you would have eaten the reindeer
You're
sausage.
darn right.
Bo doesn't have to leave, and all the food comes.
He doesn't have to leave, and you don't have to pay.
Perfect.
Call it Bo Camper's
there you
Hotel.
go. Nice.
Speaking of not leaving, no one left from the Dolphins this week. It was the NFL trade deadline. The Dolphins stood pat at 2-6. They weren't buyers.
Yeah.
They weren't sellers. Goldie, since we haven't seen you in a while, I'll start with you. Are you happy? Are you comfortable with what the Dolphins did in terms of the trade deadline? Really not making any moves.
You didn't think they would do anything, because what are you realistically going to get? Now, if somebody wanted someone that you didn't think was going to be a factor moving forward after this year, and it was something of value back, then I think you think of it. But to go trade a guy, especially someone like that you might even keep next year, to get a 5th or 6th round, I mean, let's be honest, we're trying to hit on 1s and 2s. I don't know if we're going to hit on 5s and 6s. So at this point, so it's not surprising.
The record said sellers.
But the other thing is,
but they're not.
But they're not talking that way.
I think this team's in a different position.
I agree.
Look. We're here where we are. You know, it's the chance of getting the playoffs now. They're very, very slim at best.
Right.
And so, but that doesn't mean their window to a Super Bowl is closed yet, because it's been an up and down season. You lose Tua early,
circumstantial,
all those things that have gone on. Now that you got Tua back, you're starting to see them play the way that they should play.
Right.
So instead of giving those guys away, let's keep them for next year and keep that base that I still think has a good enough talent, good enough group of talented players, where if you add a piece or two, you can get right back into that playoff hunt. So don't discard people for nothing, for draft choices that may or may not hit, and let's stay pat. Let's start building for next year, and that's the way we got. Unfortunately, that's where we got ourselves into.
The record from the outside with no context looks like sellers, but as you said, the cupboard is not bare.
Yeah.
There's plenty of talent. I think had they won 1 or 2 of these games instead of coughing up late leads, I could have seen them maybe going out to try to maybe get a pass rusher. If they thought we could still make a run. Let's try to add some depth. But I don't think that was going to happen at this point, sitting at 2-6. You kind of just have to roll with what you got. So, not surprised.
I think it was what it was. I'm glad it went by, and but there's a lot of guys that did move, and but again, the teams that are moving. Or the guy, much like baseball, hey, they got this one pitcher that we can, or this one reliever that's going to get us through the
teams in win now mode.
And that's what you saw. You saw guys that feel like they're close, teams that feel like they're close, and they're going to grab that guy and see if they can make it.
Calais Campbell is the one guy that I thought, if teams called and you were okay with the offer, maybe you go to a guy like that and say, hey, we appreciate you signing here. It hasn't got. Do you want to go somewhere? But again, who's giving up a lot to get him?
I think Calais wants to stay here. I don't think Calais would want to go. I watch how he interacts with this team. I watch the way he is on the sideline.
Huge for
I watch what he does out there, and he's this guy. He's always it's tough because of where they're playing. But he's so enthusiastic about playing. I think he loves being here.
I wonder if they went to him, hey, the Chiefs are willing to give us something we're willing to take. Do you want to go? I wonder what his answer would have been.
Well, there you go. But
team like that, Chiefs, Lions.
The one guy that I thought might be the guy to go would be Raheem Mostert, because you see an Achane is very emerging as a really good running back. You got
Jalen Wright,
who's not getting playing time in that room, and so you got Raheem, who's kind of on the twilight of his career. So that would be the guy that I would have thought. But I'm glad they didn't keep him, because look what he did last week.
Yeah.
Look the way he's playing, and this guy he's like towards the end of his career. He's
still good.
He's got an achy body. Yeah. But he comes out and he plays, and the way he plays is probably just a better value to watching the young players watching how
than what you're going to get.
Than what you're going to get.
Right. No one's giving you if you get a second round pick, it's different. But no one's doing that.
We're going to keep the NFL talk on. We got to talk about the trade deadline, more NFL news. We got Terron Armstead hopping in on the set coming up next.
Yes.
Dolphins starting left tackle.
Let's go.
We'll be right back on Game Changers. Welcome back to Game Changers. We got a special guest. You know what? I'm going to stop introducing the special guest since he's a regular now.
Amazing.
Just back from the Churchill Downs in Kentucky. You were just
I like the sweatshirt.
Just at the Derby last week or something.
Oh, don't start.
No, not during the season. He was fine. All right, we were talking about the trade deadline before you got in here. We're talking about the Dolphins, but let's move on to the rest of the NFL. I'm interested in something that the Commanders seem to be like the team in the NFL, the hot team in the league. They made a big move with Marshawn Lattimore, trading him from your former team, the Saints. Are guys around the league looking at the Commanders right now going, they're actually a contender? It's not just some flash in the pan thing?
I mean, they better look at them that way, better respect them. We had them in training camp, and those 3 practices, the quarterback, QB1 was impressive. And that was early too. That was early, him getting into that scheme and starting his NFL career. They are a real item.
You looked at that team when you guys came in, and no one expected anything from them.
No,
and then I remember as soon as we were talking about him, saw Jaden Daniels during the workouts, and then he played, I think, 1 series in the game. Yeah. And you go, oh man, they got something right there with that quarterback.
Impressive.
So that shows you the difference that one guy can make on a football team. Now they got a new coach, and they got new ownership and all that's adding it to it. But boy, this is a guy that's really pulling the trigger on that team.
Oh, for sure. He bringing confidence, momentum. Then you add Marshawn Lattimore, one of my former teammates. That's my dog, and he is a dog. Yeah. So his toughness, his grit that he brings, his experience. They just got better, a lot better.
I'm like torn between them and the Lions. Because the Lions, they go get a Pro Bowl. Bo, is that like you like?
You lose Aiden Hutchinson, who's like, was the beast on that football team. Lost him early, and look, even when he wasn't bringing quarterbacks down, he's harassing them every single play. You got 2 guys on him, and so they go out and get Zarius Smith to take up. And look, that team is a bulldog team.
Right.
That's a tough team. That's a physical team. They want to beat you down physically in the games. Yeah. And now they weren't getting much pass rush when Hutchinson's down. So this guy comes in, fills in that role a little bit. Well, I tell you, they're a team that you're going to have to look out for the rest of the season.
Did you have Dan Campbell in New Orleans as well?
I love Dan Campbell.
Oh man, he's a fan favorite down here. What's he like out there on the field or on the sideline, or did you not interact with him like that, or you can just hear him?
No, we interacted closely. Yeah. He was a tight ends coach, so we would do drills together. He'd come into the O-line room because he's a super O-line guy, trenches guy anyway. O-line, D-line, that's his thing. Like, he feel like the game of football is won between those 2 units. So his intensity, everything that you see in the press conferences, the post-game interviews, like when his first press conference when he talked about biting the kneecaps off. That's really him. Yeah. That's really him. That's his personality. That's his character, and it's contagious. And the Lions are, in my opinion, the favorite in the NFC.
Really? When he was the interim coach here for a number of years, and I remember the first day they fired, I forget which coach they hired. They fired the coach in the middle of the season. The first day at practice, he wanted to do Oklahoma drill, and the league had to tell him, no, you can't do Oklahoma drill in the middle of the season. That's Dan. But he was a tight end. Yeah. But he wasn't a catching tight end. He was a physical blocking tight end.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right, so this has been a busy week. Obviously, we had the election on Tuesday. We had the trade deadline Tuesday. But I know
what you're talking about.
We also had the college football playoff, the first pull for that. And of course, the Miami Hurricanes, Goldie, right in the mix. They're the 3 seed, ranked number 4. It can get a little confusing at times, but this was the first time, Goldie, we saw the 12-team format. Do you like it, or do you wish we went back to the 4?
You know I love it, and I thought it was exciting just seeing a bracket with college football where there's actual matchups. You know, instead of guys like us sitting around and saying, oh, they should be the 15, they're the If you're in the top 10, it goes out obviously to 12. If you're a top 10 team, you're getting in it.
Right. Yeah.
So now it's all the jockeying. Obviously, you'd rather have the bye. It depends on who you play, but it's awesome to see it. And I know a lot of the coaches not thrilled because you know every one of those players in Toronto you put. Every guy's looking at it, and the coaches are telling, hey, don't look at it. It doesn't matter, but you got to look.
I asked Mario Cristobal this week about it. I was like, how much stock or how much interest do you put in this? He goes, he looked through me. He didn't want to hear about it. Absolutely zero. But I think parity in college football is probably at its highest peak. I don't know if that's NIL. I don't know if it's a transfer portal. Maybe it is because
both
of this.
I think there's parity at the top because all the people that get the good transfer portal guys in, they rise to the top, and then the other ones drop. So I'd say if you look at the top, there's a lot of parity. There's a lot of bad parity at the bottom of this thing just because of that transfer.
But there are the teams like the SMU,
but
Indiana.
here's what I don't think.
You got a few teams having big years.
So I'm watching Miami, and they're playing. They haven't lost a game, and then they're like ticking up. They don't jump like 3 teams. They're just ticking. Oh, you were 7. Oh, now you're 6.
That's because they win every game 48-47. They can't stop it.
But they're still winning. They're still winning.
Yeah, true.
Tron, you're a Cam Ward guy.
I love what he's doing. I think Miami is for real too. It's they get punished for strength of schedule. Yeah, but you play who you play. You play who schedule.
But to that point, Louisville is now in the top 25 after Miami went in there and beat them. Do you? I mean, this is when you were in college. You didn't have the 14 playoff.
No.
Not
in my school.
You just had the rankings. But to you, does this feel more fair? Because you look at college basketball and you get 64 teams that go into the tournament, and anyone can win it. Everyone's got a shot. So is this better for the athletes? Is this better for the game?
I'm a fan of the format. I believe because we've seen throughout the years, we've seen Washington get left out or Oregon get left out. Strength of schedule. You know what I mean? But this is an opportunity for teams. You really get a chance to see who's the best team left in the country. Yeah. Opposed to the unrealistic expectation of a team have to be perfect throughout the year. Don't lose a game. Like it's hard to go through an entire season and be perfect. Alabama, Georgia, but even those teams have lost one game and missed the playoff because of that one loss. So
or you go into field like Florida State and you lose your quarterback and they keep you out.
It opens a curtain between of college football. Yeah. College football used to be, we can't have that many teams playing bowl games because they're students. They got to go to school. Yeah, okay. The school year, this and that. Now they're like, hell with that. Hell with that. We're going to send USC to Michigan. Yeah. We're going to send
it's crazy. Some of the conference matchups.
Oh my God. And this and that. And then you got crazy. And then kids aren't going to school. Oh, you can't go because they're finals. The hell with that. You're going to Michigan to play a game.
I got a hard time keeping track of it.
I know.
Cal was at Florida State. I'm like, wait, it's a conference game.
And then Miami.
What's going on?
You know what? It's crazy, but you know what? And look, I've been a big college football fan. I'm kind of disappointed in what it is. But every we travel. Every Saturday when I get in the hotel room, I sit there and I watch games, and I'm watching the games. The games are still the games. Forget all the nonsense. Forget everything outside.
Still the competition.
When you sit down there and look at it, the games are still the games.
And they add a little bit more extra. Okay, so the college football format, it is a new format. Obviously, this is the first year it's been 12. That's going to launch us to our next segment. When we come back, Terron Armstead is going to get the whiteboard treatment. It's the first time he's got to pull out the whiteboard and put it down. You can't just say it. You got to put it down on paper or on a board that can be erased, so it's not that serious, but we'll do that with Terron next when we come back. Welcome back to Game Changers. We're breaking Terron in here with the whiteboard, so I'm glad everyone...
Very exciting for Terron.
Very exciting, very exciting. There is a, we were talking about the new...
I don't have to criticize him for his pick on this and whatever.
We'll see.
We expect
You'll find a way to criticize all of us. We don't care.
Is he in arm's reach over there? So we're just talking about the college football playoff. That's a new format. We got something else coming up next week. The in-season tournament for the NBA kicks off November 12th, so that is coming.
You get a medal for that if you win it?
You get a banner if you're the Lakers.
Who won it? Lakers won it last year?
Lakers won last year. They got a banner. So we got us thinking.
The rings? Or no?
I don't know if they got
See, now that's the good question.
Yeah,
The players
they
won.
better not. You got to win an actual
I hope
championship.
They give you a button.
Right, they give you a pin. So that got us thinking. This is an Uncle Leo question.
Yeah, way to go, Leo.
What new addition to sports in the sports landscape, new rule, new format, don't you like, that you hate watching? Goldie, start with you.
Hate is a strong word.
No, just to use it.
I'm all about the players making money, so I'm not going to say I don't like the NIL. I don't like the NIL current setup the way it is, because it's just too much.
Yeah.
Now they got to find a way to make sure the players get their fair share. There's 80,000 people watching the games in Georgia and Alabama and TV contracts because of the players.
Yeah.
So they deserve some, but the current way it's being done, no good.
You don't like Kim Ward having like a cologne commercial
it's
and
just,
Adidas.
So what about this? You got a quarterback making $1 million.
Yeah.
Right. You got a right guard making nothing. Guy beats the right guard and tackles the quarterback. Quarterback goes, hey, you got a block better. Go, hell, you're getting $1 million. Get out of the way.
They pay left tackle.
Let me give you the very quick story. It's really quick. When Sterling Sharp was holding out in Green Bay, and he comes back in, and Favre was making all that money, and Holmgren's the coach. It's one of those practices, all the fans are there, and people can hear, there's bleachers, and Favre throws a pass, and Sharp stops halfway through and going, what are you doing? You got to catch. He goes, when you pay me what you're paying him, I'll run and catch the ball.
Fair point.
In the same ballpark. In the same ballpark.
All right, Bo, go ahead.
This is a little nitpicky, right?
We would expect nothing less.
I'm a baseball fan.
Okay.
And I like baseball the way it was. So I'm watching the World Series this year. I didn't even know they instituted this in the league. You can only.
What is that? First of all,
that's the pitcher. You can only.
Do we have to blur anything out on that?
You can only throw. Yeah. You can only throw through two pickoffs. Limited
over to first base.
It used to be you could throw 20 over.
That's why the games took 8 hours. But what is that?
That's the pitcher. That's his glove right there. That's the ball going down to
his ankles.
Because if you know when you go, but you got to get that ball down on the ground, Goldie. There's the ball right here. This is the ball right there. You got to get that ball down on the ground.
Don't be sending to Miami for those art galleries.
It's got to be
or
low
something.
if you want to get that tag, Goldie.
Yeah, I know it's got to be low.
By the way, that wasn't what I had guessed.
Right.
I did write his guess.
He said you wouldn't get it.
I told you.
I was close.
I didn't even like this.
All right, Terron, let us make fun of you now.
I'll keep it simple.
Yeah.
And
the NFL kickoff.
All right, there you go.
NFL kickoff.
When's the last time you ran down on a kickoff? What the hell does it matter to you?
My rookie year. I have 0 successful blocks on kick return.
Really?
0. Yeah.
But Pro Football Reference ain't looking good.
But my issue with it is with the touchback, the offense gets the ball at the 30.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's 30 yards, 2-3 first downs. You're in field goal range, so it's quick points. That's like my biggest issue.
There were some coaches that wanted to go to the 35.
See, that makes it.
I think that was Peyton wanted to go to the 35 on it.
Does it feel like we're seeing the same amount of touchbacks as we were before? It doesn't
Not
feel
the
like
same amount.
No?
For a window, I would say about 4-year span when they first moved it up.
Yeah.
It was like 90+% touchbacks.
Right.
Now we having more returns, which I like. I agree with the returns.
Yeah.
It's just the touchbacks going to the 30 opposed to when it used to be the 20. So it's just such a shorter field.
The defense gets penalized.
Okay.
It should have been like beer league softball, where like if you hit too many home runs, they start to be outs. So if you do too many touchbacks, then it starts to be a penalty. Because you know what I miss?
Not bad.
I miss that traditional image of the Super Bowl where they kick off and you see all the flashing lights. I know it's a little different anymore, but that image of everyone running together, like that.
Where's Fulton Walker when you need him?
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah, Bo, we could have been agreeing on
Yeah,
that.
that's
All right, what do you got, tough guy?
Man on second in extra innings.
Yeah,
in
see,
baseball.
you're right in line.
Oh,
with me.
That's why I said we're
It's baseball, right?
Dude, do you
We're
guys-
like Little League. What are we doing?
Do you guys like having those 3-hour and 45-minute baseball games? These rules
But
have made baseball watchable again.
But it's faster
It's drama.
anyway.
It's drama,
Yeah.
you know?
Dude, there's no drama when the Marlins are playing the Brewers on a Wednesday night in May and they're 20 under and the game goes
Do
15
that, but
innings.
don't do it in the World Series then. Don't do it in the World Series.
Did you play baseball?
That's egregious,
baseball?
you know?
I did.
What position did you play?
I was first base, third base, catch.
You had that hot corner. You had that hot corner.
Yeah, I was
You had
in
that
the
little
corner.
glove on the corner over there.
That's like a shortstop.
I was more of a hitter though. I can swing.
Why don't you tell them what you were telling us? State record and
Track.
shot.
See, that was my secondary sport. I was track and field, shot putter. I broke the Illinois state record. Won state champ.
How much did you weigh? How much did you weigh when you were in high school?
I was over 300 pounds for sure. So,
300?
Yeah.
How long you been 300 pounds?
Most of my
Like
life.
when you're
at this
18 or
point.
13 or 14?
I'm dying to see you two square off. I want to see you two
I
line
would
up
say
against each
about
other.
17.
You know what? If I was, I'd line up about 6 yards wide,
Yeah.
and I'd try to
I'm
just
going
get
to
it.
get him, Mike.
I want to get him.
Plus, he's a much nicer guy than you, so I don't know how that would play out.
He's opening
my hands on it.
he can open up the gate for me to go inside. That's what he's
I'm
going to
going to get him. I'm going to get him.
All right. We're going to keep the fun going here on Game Changers. When we come back, there were some crazy plays in the NFL this past weekend. We want to break down which was the craziest. We'll do that when we come back. Let's wrap things up on Game Changers. Usually we do what's trending out there in the sports world. The NFL dominated this weekend. There were some really ridiculous athletic plays that we saw. So, Terron, I'll start with you. Favorite thing you saw from the NFL this past weekend? Week 9? Yeah, week 9?
Week 9.
Yeah.
9, yeah.
Saquon Barkley. That play was incredible. 360 hurdle, the spatial awareness, the timing.
Look at that.
Is that one of those where like he comes back to the sideline, coach goes, all right, that was cool, but don't ever do that again?
No, I don't think you say that.
That's not like, it's not pre-planned. It's not predetermined.
Right.
It's just it's reaction. And it was incredible. I watched it probably 30
You
times.
know what's one funny when you look at pictures like, and I watch this all the times when you see like DBs or receivers jumping up for the football.
Yeah.
They got all these pads on. Look how high he's off the ground he is.
Yeah.
Look how high
Seriously.
that he is off the ground. It's crazy.
You know what's funny? Someone dug it up. It wasn't the first time he tried it.
Yeah.
He got caught midair
Right.
one time. I think when he was with
Well,
the
if you
Giants.
get caught in the wrong
Giants.
place, that's not going
If
to be
you're the
good.
Giant, if you're the Giants,
always
watching
that
what this guy
opportunity.
is doing right now.
Well, did you watch Hard Knocks this summer? When the owner said if he goes to Philly and that's exactly what's happened.
And he's literally doing.
And the Giants can't win a
It
game.
was no secret, though. It was no secret. Same for
right.
Derrick Henry in Baltimore. Same thing.
Yeah.
There's no secret.
Should have re-signed him. Bell, what do you got?
You know, mine was a bad one. The rookie, I forget what team it was, Baltimore, whoever he was, first touchdown, and he drops the ball just before he goes into the end zone.
Jets.
The Jets, yeah.
On the
You know,
reverse.
one more step. I don't know. You see this. Not a lot, but you see it all the time.
It's the track thing.
Just take one more
I know, but you got to take one more
step into the end zone. You know, I mean,
but that doesn't look cool.
Well, okay.
He doesn't look cool coming back. He didn't score.
It don't feel cool when you walk on that sideline.
That's a long walk.
And you got some coach with bad breath right in your face. It don't feel so good.
Are there coaches with bad breath?
Hell yeah. Come on. They got tobacco in their mouth. And
Goldie.
Who knows what they got
I
in their
like to
mouth.
pick something out. You got to go Saquon. Seeing the
yes,
reaction
yes.
of the players, right? So when your peers are incredulous that you did something, you did something amazing. They had that camera shot from the sideline of all the players just going, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe that!"
You know what, Tony? You've seen a lot of games, right? And you get to this level. Rarely do you see someone do a play like that and have guys go, "Whoa!" Did you just see?" Right? Because you've seen everything at that point. But that was one of those deals.
I thought so. I thought I saw everything, but that's something that I couldn't fathom in person.
I'm waiting for the high school kids to try it next, because that's usually what happens next, right?
Guys starting to now,
they
of course.
see that. This is going to be low on everyone's radar.
What do you got?
A lot of bruised glutes.
Getting caught midair. There was a lot a lot of bruised egos too. Where the corner was. It's not going to get a lot of love. I'm going to be in the minority on this one. Demarcus Robinson winning in overtime for the Rams on a one-handed catch in the end zone. you're gonna have to deal with that this week.
That was an amazing play.
Yeah.
In overtime.
Personally, but you
They need to take those gloves off those guys. You can catch everything with those gloves.
I'm with you.
Everything.
See, now
with
that
those
was going to be a
gloves.
whiteboard thing down the road.
They got to go back to Lester Hayes, get to where he gets all that. Lester Hayes with all
Put
that.
it on the whiteboard.
By the way,
Stick them all over.
We need a palette of whiteboards. If you want to do all of his complaints about stuff in sports, you better order like a box of these things online.
Tell me, that's not right. That's not right.
Some of these receivers actually can do that. Like Odell, he messing around and walk through the catches he make.
He can't catch them like this.
It's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Garrett
But
Wilson
some of these
had a good
gloves
one,
are
too.
They're just
a little too sticky.
A little too
It's
sticky.
like Little Giants when he claps and he's stuck and he gets stuck to his jersey. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun. By the way, I just want to say this, and it's not because you're here. We need a big man touchdown in the playbook for Mike McDaniel.
I'm with you.
We're starting the petition now.
Yeah.
We're starting because then we could talk about that at the end of Game Changers next week.
See, you're always thinking about the show.
Always thinking. I'm trying. I always try to take care of my guys.
You got to drop
except for Bo, because Bo burned me on the Panthers season tickets. I'm still
Terron's a track guy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Soft hands.
Will you two guys get a win in LA, please?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Come back with a win?
Well, I'm gonna have a
Let's
nice
do it,
meal,
Bo.
so I'm gonna have me a win. I don't know.
Come on, man.
Let's do it, bro. Let's get this win. Let's get this win.
I'm all in on the wins, bro.
Yeah.
I'm all in the wins.
So you win it regardless. Huh?
All right. They better come back with a win. Otherwise, we're going to complain about it. All right. Thanks so much for watching this week's Game Changers. This was a lot of fun.
Those bad burgers on the way
thanks for
back.
popping in. Goldie, thanks for coming in from Norway, wherever.
Finland. It's a big difference.
Estonia.
Estonia.
He swam over from the Baltic Sea.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, there you go. Look,
I jumped in.
Wow.
40 degrees.
You weren't anything there?
The polar plunge.
It was freezing.
Yeah. We'll see you next
Did you
time.
bring anything back for your kids?
Yes, I did. Chocolate. Finished chocolate.
Reindeer.
I think we're finished right now.